town across from me, and just listened to me. He's a good counselor. He just was sitting there smiling at everything I had to say, and you know, when I have an audience, I really appreciate it. So I appreciate Steve for being there. And for coming in, spending some time with us this morning. I have no idea what the cards are that he handed out.
They're blank.
They're blank, and I didn't get one. And so, maybe I will. No, that's okay. Debbie's going to come give me one. And he would like to walk around a bit, Corky, so I'm going to give him this mic. Is that what I should do?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Aren't you generous?
Here we go. And he's tall enough, you're going to be able to see. There, see, I told you.
Woo! In fact, he's so tall, I'm...
Well, Steve, the card.
Okay, welcome him? Okay.
Yay! Woo! Welcome!
Thank you so much, and thank you so much, Dottie, for inviting me back. Really appreciate it. I have to say, I am so inspired by the openness and the warmth of your community. I was sitting back there, listening to everyone, just in tears. Just because I could feel the love, I could feel the warmth. I was thinking, I mean, this is what a church is supposed to be.
Yes!
Wow, it's amazing. And then every time I come here, you guys, the last time I was here, it was the singing is incredible too. It's my favorite song. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Does anyone know what the most dangerous thing to do in a relationship is?
Lie. Assume.
Assume. Those are all bad.
Blame.
Negativity, blame, all those. Yes, those are all terrible things. But I'll tell you, the worst thing, actually not the worst, the most dangerous thing you can do in a relationship is write a book about relationships. I learned this the hard way the other day. My wife and I got into a little friction, right? So we're, in a little bit of a scuffle. And that's exactly right. She says, "Hey, why aren't you doing what you said in your book? Look, right here." So I think she's going to carry it around with her. Use it as some ammunition. So if you want some accountability in your relationship, write a book about relationships.
And make it a light one so that when she throws it at you...
I love music, and so today what I wanted to do is I want you guys to help me with a song. I'm not going to sing because I'm a terrible singer, but
We got a lot of great ones here.
yes,
Make a joyful noise.
I am just going to say the words of the song. I want you guys to be my chorus, and the song is ABC. So all you're going to have to say is ABC, 1, 2, 3, and do, re, mi. That's your part. So when I point to you, you say ABC, and I point again. 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi. Got it?
Got it.
Okay. So here's what Michael says. I'm not going to go through the whole song, but there's a piece here. Now I'm going to teach you all about love, girl. So sit yourself down and take a seat. All you got to do is repeat after me.
ABC.
It's easy as
1, 2, 3.
simple as
Do, re, mi.
ABC. 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me.
ABC.
Easy as
1, 2, 3.
simple as
Do, re, mi. ABC.
1, 2, 3, baby, you and me. Good. And then later on in the song, the most important lines, that's how easy love can be. Right? And they say that a few times. That's how easy, and every time I hear that I think, what is going on here? Is that easy? Anybody here feel like love is as easy as ABC 1, 2, 3? All right. Good for you. I have found them to be very challenging, and a lot of people come to my office in a lot of pain and a lot of suffering because of relationships, love and relationships. So what I found, though, is that one of the main reasons, and I've studied this for the past 15 years, is that we still have within us old beliefs and ideas about what a relationship is supposed to be, about what love is supposed to be. And I'm going to go over just a few of these ideas. These are old beliefs. This is kind of the romantic love model. And I'm just going to mention a few of them here. If I just find the right person, then I will know how to love.
It'll be effortless.
Yes. Then I will know how to love. If I just find that right person, right, I'm going to know how to love, and everything's going to be wonderful. And I call that the Jerry Maguire syndrome. You guys have ever seen that movie?
Show me the money.
Yeah, show me the money. But he also says in that movie, right, that line, "You complete me." Right? And that's one of the big problems that we face in terms of what we think a relationship is supposed to be. And it's in every movie, it's in every romantic comedy. It's all about, if I just find that right person, then I'm going to know how to love. Right? Okay, number 2. My partner is responsible for my feelings. And vice versa. Right? I'm responsible for theirs. That's what I call the enmeshment virus. So we get enmeshed and we think that it's up to us to please them, right? To make them happy. And vice versa, it's up to them to make us happy in a relationship, right? That's what a relationship's supposed to be. That's what a lot of people think. And if we don't think it, it's still embedded in us a lot. So we get caught in that. Number 3, we must compromise ourselves for harmony. Right? This is a big one. You think, oh wait, if we harmony, I need to compromise. I need to compromise myself, right? And yes, there is compromise, but that's different than compromising ourselves. Right? I'm going to give this up. Yeah, I really wanted it, but I'm forgetting. If that's what you really want, then I'll just do it. Right? Oof, right? Yes. Now I'm compromising myself, and that's it builds resentment. It always builds resentment when we do that. And I call that one mad compromise disease. Yes. Okay, here's one. If we are right for each other, for example, if we're soulmates, then we shouldn't experience any challenges. No challenges. It's going to be easy, right? And that leads to the grass is always greener disorder. We start looking outside the relationship, thinking that it's something's going to be so much better out there, and we don't do our best in the relationship that we're in. Right? It's very easy to get caught in that. Right? If I go outside the relationship, they will surely listen to me. They will surely take care of me, etc., etc. Right?
Love the one you're with.
Love the one you're with. Okay, now this one is a little bit interesting. Okay, I'm gonna say it out loud. See if you guys can get this one. Okay, so communication. I'm talking about verbal communication. Will solve everything.
I thought it was sex that solved it.
That could too.
From the ministerial view.
So, but we have this idea that, and a lot of people come into my office saying, well, if we just don't know how to communicate, and if we just knew how to communicate, things would be great. And there is some truth to that, but there's a lot more communication going on at the subtle level that is happening that people don't understand. The level of energy, the level of metaphysics. And so that's what we're going to kind of move toward now, is the idea of a new model. So we're going to throw away that old model, let it go. It's in the past. We need to create a new model for love and relationships. And in the new model is going to be the idea of metaphysical principles, spiritual ideas. And for me, one of the most fascinating things about metaphysics is paradox. Right? The idea that a statement that apparently contradicts itself, and yet still is true. So if I said to you, okay, how fast am I moving right now? Speed of the earth, right? So at where we are right here, we're traveling at about, 800 miles an hour.
Woohoo!
Something like that, yeah. If you're at the equator, you're traveling close to 1,000 miles per hour.
I feel that often, like I'm, going so fast, but I'm standing still.
Yeah. But we're also standing still at the same time, right? Very paradoxical. Here's another paradox. If I said, if I really want to be over there in life, and I'm right here, that's where I want to be, the fastest way for me to get there is to first accept where I am. Right? In order for me to actually make change and grow and move, I have to actually make peace and accept where I am. Now that's kind of paradoxical. Right? So I want to get there, but I can't get there until I relax and make peace and accept where I am. Right? Same thing in a relationship. If you really want to have a truly enlightened relationship, then you have to first accept where you are. Say, make peace. Hey, this is what we've created. It's okay. It's okay that we are here. We can make changes now. We can do something about it. We don't have to stay stuck here. But it's okay that we're here.
Stephen, is that also in all relationships?
Yes, yes. And a lot of these things that I'm talking about apply to all relationships. It's not just partner relationships. I wrote the book, and the work that I use is mostly about partner relationships, but a lot of these ideas apply to any kind of mother-father, mother-daughter, mother-child, brothers and sisters, all of it. Yeah.
Even work.
Work relationships, business relationships, all of it, absolutely. I'm going to start with a quote here with Leo Buscaglia, who I love. And we're going to talk about love. Love is in everyone and everything and awaits actualization. It's not apart from the self. Love and the self are one. Right? So this is another principle, or actually the first principle that I think is really, really important to understand, is that idea that we all have unconditional, unlimited love within us, every single one of us. And it's up to us to tune into it, right? To tune into that frequency, that energy of love. Right? Now, who believes that? Everyone believe that? Okay. So if that's true, if you really believe that, then what could you ever actually need from your partner? Nothing, right? If you're in that, if you really feel that and know that, then you actually don't need anything from them, right? But what happens? We forget. We forget all the time. I forget all the time. I forget every day. And every day I remind myself, I have this love inside of me, right? And then I go needing something. Wait a minute, no, come back to myself. I have everything inside of me. I have the unlimited, unconditional love inside of me, right? And so I think it's so critical to cultivate and nurture that love within inside of us. That's what's inside of us. And there's many ways to do that. Of course, there's meditation, there's singing, there's any kind of practice that helps you activate that sense of love is very important. So we're going to do the exercise. Does everyone have a piece of paper and a pen? Okay. Oh, they got a card. So now what I want you to do is, if you're in a partner relationship, then I want you to make this about your partner. If you're not, then just choose someone else that you have a relationship in your life that you want to improve. That's not quite where you want it to be. Okay? And by the way, when you write this, do not let your partner see what you're writing here. Okay? So I want you to write down. Yeah, if you're sitting next to each other, just try to hide it.
Anybody else need a pen?
Pen or paper?
Yeah, this one's not writing.
I've got one.
Thanks.
Okay. I want you to list, and you don't have to write full sentences right now, just doesn't matter. Just any word will do. List any judgments or criticisms you have about your partner or the other person. Or you can think of it like something that you want them to change. Any kind of judgment or criticism. They're not enough this way, they're too much that way, anything like that. So that's good enough for now, if you have a few down. If you don't, then you're probably not being honest with yourself. But what I want you to do now is think about what you've written here and see if you can recognize that when you think these thoughts, that number one, it actually prevents you from connecting to that love within you. So it essentially is a way for you to actually disconnect yourself from your love within yourself when you think this way about them. Because it brings you down to a lower state, a lower vibrational state, right? Secondly, it puts up a wall or a barrier between us. So if I judge you, now I can keep my distance, right? I don't have to connect with you now because I have this thing between us, right? Now, from a metaphysical standpoint, when you think this way, especially over and over, you're essentially hooking yourself into that, and you're going to actually create it more in your experience, right? Because you're thinking about it more, you're feeling it, and so that begins to create it more in your experience. So it's like you're putting a harpoon basically in it, and you're tying yourself to it. So the more you think that way, you're getting hooked in, right? So now we're going to do an experiment here, and the experiment is this. I want you to imagine that you could, right now, make a choice to completely let go of this way of thinking about them. That you could free yourself right now of this. Yep. And that you truly want to experience what it would be like to let go of these. So when you're ready, I want you to say goodbye to it, whatever you need to do, and then you can tear it up, crumple it up, whatever you need to do. And we're going to, at some point, we're going to throw it in the trash bin. Okay? So just crumple, for right now, you can just tear them up or crumple them up and put it on the floor, something right in front of you.
Peace
So now I want everyone to close your eyes and just imagine, just feel what that would be like if you just let that go, if you completely freed yourself of this way of thinking about it. So anybody, what's that like?
Lightness.
Lightness, yeah. That's often what it is, a sense of lightness, a sense of relief, a sense of freedom. And of course it's not easy to do, but if we want to access that love within us, it's important to work on it, it's important to practice it. And it's what I call the seeing with the eye of the heart, where you penetrate the exterior shell into someone's being, right? Yes, okay, so maybe they have these things about them, but it doesn't matter. You can see right through that, through the facade of defenses and conditioning, right into their heart, right into their being. It's like looking at a baby, right? You look at a baby and they don't have all that shell around them, so it's so easy to see that purity within, right? And for an adult, we have all this, our defenses, our conditioning, all the stuff we've built up. So sometimes it's harder to see that in an adult. You can practice it. And it doesn't care about faults or shortcomings. And this is an important thing. It knows, when you see with the eye of the heart in this way, it knows that the other person cannot limit or diminish or take anything away from you. Because that's often what happens. We have a limiting belief that comes up within us, and that's why we don't love. We think that somehow this other person can limit us in some way. And it's not true. The other thing about seeing with the eye of the heart is it lives only in the now. Right here, right now. That's all that matters. This moment. And seeing into someone's being is in this moment right here. And that's all that exists in that moment. And then the last thing, it creates an optimal environment for the other person to be their true selves. It's like if you wanted to plant a seed, you'd want to get the best soil, the best environmental conditions for that seed to grow, right? So that's what seeing with the eye of the heart, unconditional love, allows someone else to actually become and grow to be their true selves. Now, this is the very paradoxical thing, is that if you want to change your partner, then you have to love them as they are. You have to see them as they are and accept them for who they are. That's a very paradoxical statement, right? Now, another layer to that paradox is you can't be doing that for the purpose of trying to change them. Like, okay, I'm going to love them as they are, so they'll change and be this. That doesn't work, because the universe knows it can feel your vibration, right? And so if you try to do that, it's going to backfire on you. It's got to be from a pure place of truly just letting them be. I love you as you are. You are who you are, and I love you just for that. And that's it. I allow you to be you. And see, I know that doing that in no way is going to prevent me from being myself and being who I want to be. Now, in the end, there's one more layer of paradox here. It's not about changing them at all. This is about transforming ourselves, but then that can change your experience of them, right? The greater depths of love. And again, we're talking not just about partner relationships here. Again, this could be anyone that you truly want to see become the best they can become. Now, I have to say, when I talk about this sometimes, whether it's to clients or people, it becomes a little scary, because we're talking about unconditional love, and sometimes that's a little bit frightening, because we go, wait, I can't do that. You know, that's too much. It's too much of a pressure to try to love unconditionally. And I agree, that is a lot. But I still think we should set that intention. And here's a key, is set that intention for unconditional love, and at the same time have compassion for yourself wherever you are.
And you can love someone and not like their behavior. You can love them unconditionally and not like the behavior.
Absolutely, yes. You can be in your own state of love and say, you know, what they're doing is damaging, etc., but I can be in a state of love no matter what. But if I'm not, I have compassion for myself. True compassion for me where I am. So I want to end with a quote. We've got out of time, right? We're out of time? Okay. Well, it's good. This is perfect timing now. I'm going to end with this quote. This is what I've experienced. This is a quote from Hafiz, and he says, "Love is simply creation's greatest joy." Love is simply creation's greatest joy. And I have certainly experienced that. To date, I have not experienced anything greater than the sense of love in my own heart. The love for God, the love for the divine, and then extending that out to others. And what's interesting is very fitting today's Super Bowl Sunday. And I actually played football. I was into sports when I was younger, and I was very good at sports and football, and very terrible at relationships. Horrible. So it's very interesting that today, here I am, you know, doing something totally the opposite of football, talking about love and relationships. But I'm so happy I did. So happy I made the changes. And so happy to be here, all of you, sharing this. And so thank you all for listening. And love to you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You had to do a commercial break. We've got a book.
Oh yes, I do have a book.